I purchased these cute garden spinners from Dollar Tree, a ladybug and a bee, and this is my video to try to make a smaller version of them. Hello and welcome to another miniature video. These two inspiration pieces are about 16 inches from the stick height, and they have 6 petals that spin in a circle with a 10-inch diameter. To get started, I gather up supplies and materials that may work for the project. I'm hoping to make sure that this smaller version will be able to spin as well. It won't be exactly the same as the inspiration piece, but I'm going to try to use angled pieces in the wind to work. I used a mixture of materials to make this project, including cardstock, translucent paper, seed beads, toothpick, and a sewing pin. You could also use construction paper. Usually before I do a project, I do a lot of testing and trying out some ideas, what's going to work, what isn't going to work, so I thought maybe I'd show you just a little tiny bit of that. I also tried it in different sizes using different paper punches, the different sizes, and here are some of the ones that I used. I also tried to make little flowers. You can see them in the background. It was a sunflower and a daisy. I end up changing the daisy petals. I'll show you at the end. First, I tried to make the bee, and then I made the ladybug. The head faces are made from circle punches, 3/8 of an inch, and for the smaller scales, I used 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch in diameter. To make the faces, I use acrylic paints, a toothpick, I use markers, and colored pencils. The eyes and the mouth features stand out more if I put a white acrylic paint down first, then let it dry before I add any markers. Next, I use a pink colored pencil for the rosy cheeks. For the eyes, I use a combination of permanent markers and browns and blacks and blues, and then I might follow up with a little bit of white paint to put some little eye sparkles in there. Also, you could add eyebrows, eyelashes, a little nose shape. I make some other insects besides the bee and ladybug. I try a roly-poly, a dragonfly, and a butterfly. But I end up changing the circle head face shape. Instead of using the 3/8 inch circle for the face, for the butterfly and the dragonfly, I use a 1/4 inch diameter circle. This was fun decorating the different faces. Now when you assemble each of the little insects and the spider, you'll need 2 circle pieces. One will be the front face circle, and then you'll need a backup piece that will go behind it that holds the pin in together. To make the bug insect antennae, I'm going to use cardstock, and I have a paper punch that has a curlicue that I need to cut off a little bit to make it work. But you could also use embroidery floss in black and maybe make a curlicue out of it and curl it and then glue it to the back as well. I use my craft knife to cut off that little extra appendage on that curlicue. But you could also, reverse that and use that long little slightly curved straight piece to be another shape. Here's an up-close look of the paper punch, which is an embosser too, from Fiskars, just to get a look at it. To make the spinner body, or wings in the case of the dragonfly and the butterfly, I am using a 1 inch 5-petal paper punch. I mean, you could use all different kinds of shapes, but this is what I'm going to use. I don't have a 6-petal shape in this size and shape. For each body, you just need one of the 1 inch shapes. So I'm showing several here just to show the different steps that I go through to prepare that spinner body. So punch out the cardstock. Whoops. Now I need to make a little circle in the center. I'm just using a pencil because I want to make a hole. Now you can use your craft knife to make a hole, but I'm going to use a 1/8 inch paper punch, and I make that little paper circle or pencil circle so that I can line it up with the hole punch, and then I'll get my circle shape. Now I'm ready to go ahead and to decorate this body, and this body is going to be the bee. I'm going to take a brown color pencil, and for each of the 5 petals, I'm going to go around and make some marks. I'm going to put a little piece of paper underneath here so it don't get on the blue paper. And they're just little half-curved marks. And when I look at them, I'm thinking, gosh, I think I need to add a little bit more to it. So after I'm done making these little, and you could measure these, I'm just kind of making the little shapes. I just want it to look a little bit fuzzy. And then I take the black permanent marker and I try to go behind it a little bit to give it a little bit more depth. And then I repeat it for the other 4 little flower petals. You can also do it on the back side if you want to. To make the ladybug, I punch out a red flower in the petal shape. I take a black permanent marker and then I make 5 little dots on each of the petals. To make the roly-poly body, I'm using a light gray paper, but I think I want it darker. So I'm going to go ahead and take a permanent marker that's in gray, a little bit darker, and I'm going to color both sides of it. And then after it dries, I will add some white lines on it with a colored pencil. Apparently the roly-poly is not an insect. It has 14 legs and it's more of a terrestrial crustacean, kind of like a on-land crab, but I'm calling it a bug here. To make the butterfly and the dragonfly bodies, I use translucent paper. I punch it out into the flower petal shape, punch the center 1/8 of an inch hole before I decorate it. About that translucent paper or vellum paper, the pack that I have it's in a mint overlay color, light green color. And so you'll see when I'm going through this, I'm going to take a permanent marker and on one side I'm going to color it. For the dragonfly, I'm going to use this light blue. And then for the butterfly, I'll use a light orange. And then I'll flip it over and then I'll draw with black permanent marker the wing shapes. The translucent paper is kind of opaque. You can't really see through it, but I'll bet you can maybe use a heavier transparent or clear plastic that you might be able to get a punch through. That might work as well too. And it was kind of at this point where I realized that 3/8 of an inch diameter head might be a little bit too big and would cover up the wings. So I went with the 1/4 inch little heads for both the dragonfly and the butterfly. And then I needed to think about an elongated body that I could add on to it. I'll show a little bit later on how I came up with the butterfly and dragonfly bodies. I also have like a little template for each of the different creatures. Once the permanent marker for the orange and the blue petals is dry, then I flip it over and I take an ultrafine black permanent marker and I try to make what I think looks like little butterfly wings and dragonfly wings. For the butterfly, I'm just outlining the outside of the petal, and then I'll take a long strip on one side and make 2 to 3 little branches. After that black permanent marker dries, I'm going to take some white paint and make some little dots around that edge. For the blue dragonfly, I'll just take 2 little strips of black, or stripes I guess, going vertically on each of the petals, and then I'll make some little branches coming out. There are so many other bugs and insects and creatures that you could make using this spinner idea, including flowers. It kind of looks like a pinwheel, but not quite. Now I add some paint details, acrylic paints, and I'm just going to go up the sides with the little toothpick, and I'm going to kind of spread that around just a little tiny bit. For the dragonfly, I'm using a turquoise color, and I go around and repeat that to all of the petals. Then I take a little bit of scrap paper and just kind of blot it down. If you've got too much paint on it, you can just get a little bit of water and kind of spread it around and make it thinner. For the butterfly, I take a little bit of orange acrylic paint with the toothpick up one side vertically and then in between some of the branches. And then I use scrap paper to blot any excess orange paint on the butterfly. Once the paint and the permanent markers are dry, I'll take a little bit of white acrylic paint and the toothpick, and I just add some white dots all of the way around the butterfly's petal wings along the black lines. To make the butterfly and the dragonfly stationary body, I use some black cardstock or construction paper and I wrap it around a toothpick. And at first I was using a black flower petal. That's what I used originally, but it wasn't quite long enough. And so this one I think is about an inch long. And I just roll it around that toothpick and keep rolling it till it's a little bit thinner. And then I'm going to glue that. Once I glue it, I'll let that dry and then I'll attach it to the head once I get the head onto the body. And so the spinner will be able to spin, or the wings, but the body stays stationary. For the dragonfly, I add a little bit of turquoise and white stripes horizontally. And then for the butterfly, I just took a little bit of white color pencil and did some vertical stripes on that too. And here are the decorated spinner bodies. I have to show you the spider yet, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but first I'm going to go ahead and show you the templates for each of the creatures. Here's the honeybee, what the pieces that you're going to need, and here's the ladybug, and the roly-poly, the dragonfly, the butterfly, and the spider. For the spider, I use a different body paper punch. It has 8 petals that are thin. I end up using that for the daisy as well. The first thing that I do is that for the head, instead of making it a round circle, I want to use a little flower, 5-petal flower for the head because I'm trying to put some extra eyes on the spider. The spider isn't going to have an antenna. Then I take the black permanent marker and I add horizontal lines to each of the brown legs. Then I take a white colored pencil and I add a little bit of feet to the tips of each of the petals or the legs of the spider. I see I need to punch a little center hole here yet. But first I'm going to add a little smile to my spider. And instead of the other 3 eyes, I'm not going to add the little black circles. I think I'm going to paint them orange. Just a little touch of color with my permanent marker. You could use paint instead of the marker. Now I'm going to add the center punch. First I'm going to mark it with a pencil and then I will take the paper punch and line it up and then punch it. And now we're ready to assemble the little creatures. So take the sewing pin and then you're going to put the back of the head first, add some glue, go all the way around. You're going to glue that back of the head to the pin top, the flat top, and then you're going to place the head, line it up as best as you can with the glue. And once you get it, press it into shape, and you're going to want to make that pin the top of in the center, like where the nose would be on that little face. So it'll be up and down perpendicular, and press that pretty good. Now you're going to add the first bead to the back of the head, and we're going to glue that one to that back of the head just to make it a little more secure. So I'm just placing it there. I'm going to add a little drop of glue, and then I'll push it down once I get that glue down there. I'll leave that dry. Now I'm going to add the second bead. I don't glue the second bead. I just want to put a little distance between the head and the body with that bead. And now I add the body to the spinner. And for the butterfly and the dragonfly, you would add the wings. And then you add the third bead behind the body. And that's going to separate the back of the pin to the toothpick. So I add I'm having troubles getting the little bead on the hole. Whoops, it pops again. I'll get it the third time. All right, so there's what it looks like. That glue needs to dry a little bit more on the head, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do next. So while the glue is drying, I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm going to cut off the pointy end, just to where the tapering is happening, just on one end. And I take my small jewelry pliers, I put it right behind that third bead, and I'm going to bend it. Now you're going to want to make sure that the face is facing upward to where the pin is, so it's not upside down, and then it's going to look kind of like that. And then I'm going to cut off the excess of the pin, leaving about 1/4 of an inch from the bead to the pin. Next, I take some glue and I'm going to put it on the toothpick and the pin, and I'm sliding the toothpick underneath the pin behind that 3rd bead. I want to place that on there and secure it. Once I get that on there, I'm going to add a bunch more glue to the back of the pin and to the wood piece so that it can dry clear so that it will spin around and be secure. I've got some excess glue on there, but you can take that off later. Now I'm going to set it aside to dry. Go ahead and repeat the process with the rest of your spinners and let those dry. Now, to get the little angle so that the wind catches it and spins it, I'm going to show you here on a foam thing what I will do, but I like to put the whole little creature together while I press it down, but here I'm showing you just on a sample. I'm just going to pick one side of each of the petals and just gently give it a little tiny press down so it's got a little angle and a little curve to catch that wind. All right, so now here's a completed little creature, a little bee, and I'm just going around and getting each end, and you just need a tiny little press down on that edge. And I'm just using the toothpick. The only thing that might be a problem with the spinner sometimes, and I had it with the roly-poly, is the antenna might get in the way. So you need to make sure you bend that antenna up forward so that it can bend and blow in the wind. Now for the spider, I have to do something a little bit different. I can't do the toothpick, so I just take it and I just take each one of his little legs and I just bend it in the same direction. Just a tiny little bend. And be careful that you don't rip it. You just do a tiny little bend and then blow on it to see if it spins. Here I'm trying to see if I can get them all to blow at one time, and it's kind of hard to hold my little piece and blow at the same time, but all my little spinners work. And there's my little butterfly, and here's the inspiration pieces with some of the little spinners. This was such a fun project. I was so happy when I saw it at the Dollar Tree, and I just had to try it. I can't wait to put it in my miniature garden and around the little houses that I have. You can have fun trying all different ways to mix and match. For the smaller scales, I only use 2 beads after the head and then toward the back. And then I use the straight pin, but then I don't cut it instead of using the full toothpick. I hope you liked this episode and are inspired to make mini bug and spider spinners. Thank you so much for watching and sharing.